Hey there, Seahawks. This is Miss Adams, and today we're going to talk about the distributive, commutative, and associative properties. Okay, the distributive property. If A and B are real numbers, then A times the quantity, B plus C, equals A times B plus A times C. So you take that number that's outside the parentheses, and you multiply it to each piece that's inside the parentheses. One way to visualize this distributive property is with models. So you can take this first group here, so you have A plus 4, and you would distribute that to everything in the second group. So A would go to both terms in the second group, and then the positive 4 would go to both terms in the second group. So we could draw a model. So I have A and positive 4, and then on the other side I have A and positive 5, and then I would just multiply piece by piece. So A times A would give me A squared. A times 4 would give me 4A. A times 5 would give me 5A. And 4 times 5 would give me 20. And then I would combine my like terms. So I have A squared, and then I have a 5A and a 4A, so those can be combined. So I'd have A squared plus 9A plus 20. The commutative property. The order of the numbers can be rearranged without affecting the sum or the product. So if A and B are real numbers, then A plus B is the same as B plus A. And A times B is the same as B times A. It's a commutative property. The associative property. The order of the numbers does not change. The grouping, so the parentheses, brackets, those sorts of things, can change, and it does not affect the sum or product. So if A, B, and C are real numbers, then the quantity A plus B plus C is the same as A plus the quantity B plus C. And the quantity AB times C is the same as A times the quantity BC. And when I say quantity, I just mean this section that's in parentheses. Okay. Identify the property used and find the equivalent expression. Equivalent just means an equal, matching. All right, so I have 12 plus 8 plus 2 equals 12 plus 8 plus 2. So these are the same. They're going to work out to give me the same answer, but what changed? Okay, did I distribute? Does it look totally different? No. Did the order of the numbers change? So 12, 8, 2, 12, 8, 2? No. So this must be the associative property. And because everything I'm doing here is addition, it's the associative property of addition. Problem 2, I had 4 times the quantity 2x plus 3 equals 8x plus 12. So it looks different on the right side than it did on the left. Okay, and I distributed. So this is the distributive property. The next one, I have the quantity 8 times 2 times 4 plus 4 times the quantity 8 times 2. So the grouping didn't really change. So 8 and 2 were still grouped together, but the 4 went from being in the back to being in the front. So that would be the commutative property, and this would be commutative property of multiplication. All right, number 4, I have 5 plus 2 plus 6, and then I have 2 plus 6 plus 5. So the grouping, 2 and 6 are still grouped together, but the 5 moved from the front to the back. So that would be the commutative property again, but this time of addition. All right, the next one, I have 7 times, and then I have a bracket, negative 3 times 2, plus, in brackets, 7 times negative 3 times 2. So the order of the numbers, 7, negative 3, 2, 7, negative 3, 2, didn't change, but the grouping symbols did change. So that would be the associative property of multiplication. And number 6, I have 4a plus b times 2a minus 2b. And it looks totally different on the right than the left. So on this one, I use the distributive property. All right, writing mathematical proof to show that 2a times 4b times 5c is equivalent to 40abc. All right, so when you're writing a proof, you want to justify what it is that you're doing. So 2a times 4b times 5c was given to us. And so then I take 2, and then A times 4, and B times 5, times C. So I changed how it's grouped. So that would be the associative property of multiplication. And that little X is just the multiplication symbol. And then I did 2 times 4 times A. So I had A times 4 in that first group, and I just flipped it. And then in the second group, I had B times 5, and now I have 5 times B. So I flipped it. So that, when you change the numbers, you move them, that's the commutative property of multiplication. And then I'm going to change the grouping again. So I'm going to group 2 and 4 together, A and 5 and B and C. So that would be the associative property when you're dealing with the grouping symbols. And then 2 times 4, I could change that if I want, or I can wait. And then A times 5, now I changed it to 5 times A. And B times C, I left it alone. So 5 times A, now I can change that. That would be the commutative property because I switched the order around. And now I can change the grouping and put all the numbers together and all the variables together. So I have 2 times 4 times 5, and then A times B times C. Because I changed the grouping symbols, that's the associative property. The order of the numbers 2, 4, 5, A, B, C didn't change, just the parentheses. And then I can simplify. So 2 times 4 times 5 is 40, A times B times C is A, B, C, and that would just be by simplification. And now I've proved it. All right, Grizzly Adams is having a birthday party. He needs to make goodie bags for 9 other kids who will be there. Each bag will contain 4 pieces of candy, 1 pair of glasses, and 2 temporary tattoos. Write an algebraic expression to represent this situation. All right, so we're doing 9 goodie bags. In each goodie bag, I have 4 pieces of candy, so 4 times C, 1 pair of glasses, so 1 G. You could put the 1 there if you want, you don't need to, and 2 tattoos, so 2 times T. So there's my expression. Part B. If each piece of candy costs 25 cents, each pair of glasses costs $4.50, and every tattoo is 20 cents, determine how much Miss Adams will spend before tax on filling up the goodie bags for Grizzly's party. Okay, so I know I'm going to have 9, and then 4 times the candy is 25 cents each, so I'm going to plug in 25 cents, plus $4.50 for the glasses, so $4.50 times 1, if you want the 1 there, you can put it, and then plus 2 times the cost of every tattoo is 20 cents. I'll close that up, and then I'll do some multiplication. So it's going to be 9 times 4 times a quarter, each is $1. So 1 plus $4.50 plus 2 times 20 cents would be 40 cents. And if I add all of that, I get $5.90. And then I'm making 9 bags, so it's $53.10. And don't forget to go back and add that dollar sign because this is a real world problem. Put it in context. All right, so that's it.